Seches Bava. I forgot. I'm so used to Bava, so it's Bava Metzia. It's been Bava for a long time, so I said Bava by mistake. So it's Bava Metzia already. Baruch Hashem. Tonight is the Siyum of Bava. Yeah, tonight. When? What time is the Siyum tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Was supposed to be tonight, but it's not. It's Tammuz is 8:15. 8:15 followed by the Siyum. We said previously in the Gemara, and we are now based on base towards the bottom of the page. We said that the reason why two people have to split the disputed talis, and besides that, they also have to take shvua before. We thought that the reason they have to take shvua is because still, even though we tell Reuven, although you have tfisa, Shimon also has tfisa. If Shimon also has something to do with the garment, he's also holding it, and his holding also is like an impediment. It sort of blocks you away from getting the talis. You have to be nishba in order to get the talis out of his hands. If you have no tfisa in it whatsoever, had it been only held by him, you would have needed Eidim. You would have needed Eidim, real witnesses, real Eidim, that are the best weapon in Beis Din to get it out of his hands. If he was holding it and you're not, now that you're both holding it, you need Shvua. This is what we thought. And then we had a problem with the Chashuv Tana called Sumchus. What did Sumchus say? Remember the case of Sumchus and Chachamim? The case was, let's say there is a show that gored a cow, a female cow, and we don't know if he gored the baby cow, yes or no. There is a dead baby next to the cow, a dead calf, and we don't know if he died before or after the goring, and therefore there's a suffix. In that case, Sumchus said, even though all the money that's disputable is in the hands of the mazik, of the shore owner, still they split half-half. So now we had a question on Sumchus. We asked about Sumchus and we said, wait a second. Yeah, I'm now going back to the question. Yeah, Ela I Omer Sumchus. The line starts with the word Omalt. If you say our Mishnah follows Sumchus, our Mishnah would not make sense. Why? Hashta. Oh, listen to this. Look here. If over there, that person, the damaged party, has no tfisa, is not holding it, and yet he gets half of it without shvua, the mere fact that we have a real suffix means what? There's real suffix. There's a real question here. Did the baby cow die because of the shore? Yes or no? For Sumchus, that's enough to let the owner of the cow, the baby cow, get half out of the pocket of the shore owner. Over here, the Tavayu Tafsila, L'Kol Shekain. Over here, both of them hold it. Both of them have some kind of tfisa over it. Then don't we say that Kol Shekain, you don't need shvua? In other words, Sumchus is a much bigger believer in sharing and doing half-half, going half-half, even if you don't have any tfisa whatsoever or no shvua required. So here, let's look at Shimon. Shimon has some kind of tfisa over here. Would Shimon have to swear? Mapitom. Shimon is a mechutan. Shimon is a tzad. Shimon has tfisa as much as Reuven. Why would he need to swear? Even when Shimon has nothing, he takes it home, half of it. Kol sheken over here that he has no reason to give shvua because he has tfisa. He has something holding it. He's in the story. Answers the Gemara, no. Afilu tema sumchus. You know what? Afilu tema sumchus. Even if you said that our Mishnah follows sumchus, it could follow. It could work right. Why? Ki omer sumchus. In other words, our Mishnah could follow the opinion of sumchus too. Why? Ki omer sumchus shema v'shema. You know what Sumchus said? Very, very simple. You know what Sumchus said? You don't have to take shvua. Really, Sumchus believes you have to take shvua. Sumchus believes that before I approach my bank account, I need the code. You need to do something before you get the money. It's called shvua. We just want to verify it's really you and you're serious about what you're saying. So now we say like this. When it's a shema v'shema, which means over there, in the case of the shore and the cow, does any of them really know what happened? No. Over there, the shore owner doesn't know they were not there. Both owners Reuven and Shimon, the owner of the bull and the owner of the female cow and her baby, both of them were the chassan at the same time. They have no idea. It happened in the middle of the night. Each one says, "How do you know? How do you know that your shore didn't bully, didn't gore my little baby cow?" And the other one says, "How do you know he did?" But it's a maybe versus a maybe. They don't really know. When people are in maybe, they can't take shvuah. How can you swear about something you don't know? Shvuah by definition means I swear that so and so happened. There they cannot swear. Aval bori ubori lo yomar. Here in this case, when it's bori versus bori, when each one says I am 100%, million% sure that I picked it up first and you took it from me later. If so, if each one is a bori, then sumchus would not object imposing a shvuah. No, so our Mishnah could be sumchus. Our Mishnah could be sumchus, all very nice, right? Because maybe sumchus in this case, when each one is very adamant and clear about what it says, it would require shvuah. So that could be a very good answer. We could end the flow chart over here, and sumchus in the case of bori and bori requires shvuah. However, the Gemara is now asking a question from another opinion in Bava Kama over there. The Gemara, Rabba bar Rav Huna. According to Rabba bar Rav Huna, what did he say? The Omar, he said, Omar sumchus afilu bori bori. He believes, Rabba bar Rav Huna believes that according to sumchus, even in the case of bori bori, even if both sides know for sure, and they say, I am certain that so and so happened, and the other one said, no, I am certain the other way, still they don't have to take shvuah. Against what we said. There's a first opinion, I don't know if you remember, there's a case in Bava Kama about one bull who ran after the other, and we didn't see what was going on. And one owner said, I know that your shore that chased mine, gored mine. The other one said, no, I know. I saw for sure that it was hit by a rock. It's true that my bull gored yours, but he was running like Meshuggah, yeah, and your shore, so he was just hit. He bumped against a rock. It was a car accident, a cow accident. So they both know what happened. They both claim to know for sure. And in that case, still, according to Rabbi bar Rav Huna, sumchus would say split. You both have logical complaints, split. If so, Michael Amema, split with shvuah. Sorry, split without shvuah. If so, Michael Amema, what would you say over here? Over here, the Mishnah says that they both know what they're saying, and the Mishnah requires shvuah. That does not sound like sumchus, who did not require shvuah. Back to square one, our Mishnah is not sumchus. Sumchus is never for shvuah. According to Rabbi bar Rav Huna, our Mishnah said yes shvuah. So stop trying to mishadich our Mishnah with sumchus already. Answers the Gemara, no. Oh, here we come to a new term which we've seen many moons ago in Bava Basra. Dr. Gemara, no. There's a big difference between our case and the case of Shor Shenogah Chesapor. Afilu tema sumchus. Even if you say that our Mishnah is sumchus, our Mishnah could go very well and could have been written yes by sumchus. Why? Ki Omar sumchus. You know when sumchus said you do not have to take shvuah and you simply split it. Heicha de ika. That is only where ika, where there is Drara DeMamona. Welcome to the term called Drara DeMamona. When there is Drara DeMamona, there are three explanations to what Drara DeMamona means. In case of Drara DeMamona, then sumchus says you do not need shvuah. In our Mishnah, there is no Drara DeMamona. No, then you do need shvuah, which means as follows. Again, the Drara DeMamona, you don't need shvuah. When there's no Drara DeMamona, then you need shvuah. What's Drara DeMamona? Three explanations. I will not start with Rashi, although it's very traditional. Start with Rashi. Rashi says a monetary loss, and many Rishonim argue on Rashi vehemently. I would start with Tosfos and then the Ritva and many others. Tosfos says Drara DeMamona means as follows. In the case of Shor Shenogah Chesapor, yeah, I'll ask you a question. Let's say you were in a fly on the wall, and you came the morning after to the cow shed, and you saw an angry bull with blood on his horns, and he definitely killed the cow, and you don't know if he killed the calf. Is there a question whether he killed the calf or not? What I want from your lives? Of course, there's a question. Yeah, we see a dead baby cow. We see a dead calf. And right away, let's say you are the stable boy. You don't even know the owners. You don't know Reuven and Shimon. You never saw them. You still have a question. can take a picture and put in social media. Yeah, you can already see there's a question over here. Yeah,
Smoking gun.
the smoking gun. Very good. We see something was going on, and every person with his right mind. We're almost at the end of Gimel of Beis Amud Beis. We're a few lines, 3-4 lines before the bottom of the Gimel Amud Beis. Mashain can listen to me now. What would be if you see two people walking down the street holding a talis? Yeah, you see two people, Reuven and Shimon, walking with stern faces. They're walking towards Beis Din with the talis. Would you think that there's a halachic question here? You see people, possibly, but yes or no, for sure or possibly? Not for sure. I would think that they're partners. They both own a talis. If you see me, I'm a nice guy. You think I'm a nice guy. You see me with my jacket, going with Jeffrey Bell, my friend, or with you, my friend Yitzchak, and very good. Are you joking? And I think you're very correct. Let's not philosophize. Let's no, you don't see them fighting. That's the whole point. Very nice. Yitzchak says maybe one is helping his friend. It's a heavy talis, like real wool, like a bezl chosed, like I don't know, a very heavy talis. One is helping the other. When did the question start in their Mishnah? When they opened their mouth. When they came to Beis Din and each one started screaming, "It's mine," and then the other one says, "Mine, mine, 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 mine." The question was caused by their tinus. Drara DeMamona means there's a question here, even without the people talking. It's a question per se. It's a smoking gun. I like the expression. That's the case of Shoshan Ogre Chesapor. There's definitely a question. Before you people opened your mouth, there is a question as of itself. Every detective would like to see what happened here before they even open their mouth. Such a case is like a stronger question for Beis Din and more of a reason to Beis Din for Beis Din to get involved. That's usually I will look at Drara DeMamona. Here we're actually saying the other way. It's a very difficult stage in the Gemara. I'm just first translating what it means. Drara DeMamona, there's a question. Ritva says similar to Tosfos, and that is Drara means connection. Drara DeMamona means we know for sure Reuven is the owner of the bull and Shimon is the owner of the cow and her baby. Yeah, so we know there's ownership here. Yeah, that everybody knows. All 150,000 people in Bet Shemesh, it's famous in the news, in Chadash, in wherever. Everyone knows Reuven is the owner of the bull and Shimon is the owner of the cow. There's definitely connection to the story. Yeah, the question is, what happened with the baby cow? Was it gored or not? But there is a story here. There's a matzav here before anybody opened and said anything. Yeah, I'm connecting now this and rich together. Mashain can the case of the talis, who said it belongs to any of them. Yeah, maybe there's someone shlichim. I don't know. Maybe who says they're connecting to the story? Maybe, like you said, one is helping the other. Only once they open the mouth and they say kula shali, that's when we begin to say, okay, they created the question. I combined really the Ritva and the Tosfos together. There's enough community between. I don't want to get involved now in the depth of the Ritva because it's going to disturb the flow. Now it says the Gemara like this: when there is Drara DeMamona, which is the case over there, there's definitely a question in the story. There it does not require Shavua. Why? It's very difficult to understand. When I understood it like this. Who says you Bechlal? Over there, we know you're an owner. You know you're involved in the story. We just don't know if the shore gored the cow, baby the cow, or not. But it was goring, and you're the owner, I'm the owner. We're 80% there to know there's something going on. We have to know just the final thing. For that, you don't need Shavua. Because you connected to the story here, you don't need a shvuah to get into the club. You are in the club. You are part of the story. So you don't need that red tape prove to us that something happened. We know it happened. All we need to know is, that what do we need to know? Nothing. We don't know really when the car, if it was gored, not gored. Split it and finish. Let's just split it without your involvement. Yeah? Over there, Drara DeMamona. Here, there's no Drara DeMamona. Here, you created the suffix. When you stepped to Beis Din, we thought you were good friends. You were smiling. You wanted to give good impression. Then you started opening your machlokas dike mouth. Then you created the story. Prove to me that you're bechlal connected. Prove to me you're connected to the Maisa. That's what the Gemara wants to say. Mele here you need shvua, but there you don't need shvua. Here you need to prove that you're a member in the club of this whole machlokas. Says the Gemara, what are you talking about? We can say just the other way around, turn it upside down. Shouldn't be a kal v'chomer. The Gemara is now turning exactly just the opposite. If over there the ikadro the mamon lemar, the ikadro the mamon lemar, over there there's definitely involvement to both sides, and both sides are in the story, and both sides are potentially losing money. The ikal memar kula lemar, the ikal memar kula lemar. Over there, one could say it all belongs to one or the other. Let's say the baby cow is worth $1,000. It's a very good baby cow, and one person here is involved. Both are involved. There's definitely somebody here is going to for sure lose money. On the contrary, because we are in the story, just the opposite svara. We are involved. It's much more of a red alert, high profile case. How can Beis Din split it so how did it, without shvua, categorically without shvua, even though they know there's real loss at case? It's not people inventing stories. We know that somebody here is going to lose $1,000. Either the poor baby cow was really gored and he was worth $1,000 by Reuven, or it was not, and then Reuven will fork out $1,000 without it being his fault. And even then, although there's real money and real ownership and real loss happening here, and they are in the club, they are in the story, and you want to get somebody out of the club by making him lose, and even there, from some reason, if over there he said you don't have to take shvuah and you split it, because Sumchus just doesn't believe in shvuahs. Sumchus is a big believer in going half-half. He says nobody can know anyways. Let's just split it. They both have good kindness, good thing, good finger in the pie. Let them split it. Over here, the Drara DeMamona. Here there is no for sure. By the way, Rashi says financial loss. I'm combining three opinions now together. There's no Drara DeMamona here. Why? There's no real loss here and no real involvement. These are two people who are just talking. I don't really know that there's a suffix here before they open their mouth. The ikal meimar, one would say the tarvayuhi. First of all, could be belongs to both of them. Remember, maybe both of them picked it together, right? Maybe there's no loss. First of all, right? First of all, could be that the splitting here is correct. Because could remember the third option? Maybe both of them picked it up together. 1, 2, 3 picked it together without even realizing the other side is also picking it up. Lamaisa, here it's much easier to split because A, there's no real involvement. They're making up stories. Let them split it without any shvuah. Yeah, 1 second. Or could be they're both together. Really, maybe they really picked it up together. So the psak here can be beautifully even more making sense to be choilek over here without shvuah, because maybe really they both picked it up together. Mashaken over there's no one side. Over there it's a cruel war. Either the baby cow was gored or he wasn't. There's no other way. So over here it's a much lighter, easier case because there's no big loss or big involvement. It's much easier to split together. L'kol shekain. Not all the more so, won't we say that for sure, according to Sumchus, you should split without a shvuah? That's the end of the question, and that's a crescendo. We got to the peak of the mountain. It seems like for sure, according to Sumchus, that never believes in taking shvuah. Over here, it's easier to take the scissors and split without shvuah because A, I'm adding now something Rashi said, which I didn't say before. There's no real involvement here. I don't know that they're Bechlal owning anything. I don't know there's a real war until they open their mouth. I would have thought they're nice partners. You making up stories, keep making, just split it. And thirdly, and that's 4 really things to say. Thirdly, there's no real loss here. Maybe they picked it up together. Also, Rashi says here there's less of a loss. You know why there's less of a loss? Because they only found it in the street. Over there, the cow is a real loss because that's a cow that he bought for $10,000 last year. You know, in the Golan, very fancy cow and very fancy shore. You're making lose real money. Over here, they found it. Easy come, easy go. It's less of a loss. So let's split it and finish the story. And even if they bought it from someone, he's going to give them back the money. So there's no financial loss. It's a much lighter case over here, all in all. Much lighter. It's a lighter version of a machlokes. Why do you require shvuah over here? According to Sumchus. Question. Answers the Gemara. If you have questions later. Answers the Gemara. No. Here we come with a whole new understanding. Even if you say this is Sumchus, our Mishnah could coexist with Sumchus. This shvuah is a special shvuah they imposed in this case midarabanan. Why did Rabbanan impose a shvuah over here? Rabbi Yochanan. They followed the dogma, the idea of Rabbi Yochanan. The Omer Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan, shvuah zu takonas chachamim. This shvuah is takonas chachamim. And chinami. This shvuah would not be a shvuah that you really need in order to exert the money out of take out the money. I mean to say, out of your friend's hands. It's not like a lighter version of Adim. It's a means to take it out. It's just a takanas chachamim. The Chachamim established it. Shlo yeh kol echad ve'echad hoylech v'toikef at the lisa shel chaveroi hoimer shelihu. Chachamim made a takana. Chachamim said like this: it's very common for people to abuse halacha, unfortunately. And if you say, when Reuven comes, imagine yourself, you know what I did on Thursday? I'll tell you a very dark secret. You know what I did Thursday lunch? I went to the dry cleaner and I took my jacket out of the dry cleaner. No, nice jacket, no? Now imagine yourself, somebody would like my nice jacket and he doesn't have money. And he said, Kiva just took the jacket out of the dry cleaner. He would have chopped half. He would put his, greasy hand on my jacket. And I would say, what? And he would say, hey, come to Beis Din with me. You don't talk. Then what? He'd come to Beis Din and would split the jacket half. I would have it for my grandson. Yeah, in other words, then every person can abuse halacha. At the end of the day, Chacham being pragmatic and say anybody can toikef, can attack his friend, take the talis, and go to Beis Din and split without shvua, because these things can happen, because it can commonly happen. I'm explaining now what the Shita Kubetza says, as far as I remember the Shita. Over here, it's very common that this could happen, much more than Bashar Shanogah. Shoshanogah, there's no reason to make takana. Here, you make the takana, and Chacham says, hey, hold it. I know you have the chazaka, midoraisa, the chazaka would have been perfect, would be good enough, because people tend to be ganovim and abuse halacha and chap yena's things. In Mela, they said as like the security code for the bank, first make a shvua, mister, and then we'll do the half-half, because we assume that even if the person wants to play dirty tricks and take the half of the jacket, but to be nishbel sheker, oy, ad kedekach, people wouldn't sink that low. Drara DeMamona, loy choshed shvua is not suspected to be lying l'sheker. Shvua is not suspected. So they say just go through the procedure being nishba, and we hope that the liar would really break and not take shvua, not take an oath, and really give it to the real owner. Mashenkin over there, Bashar Shanogah, it's not a common story b'chlal. Yeah, and it's not shaykh. This shvua is for many reasons not shaykh over there, and over there it said sumchus is split without a shvua. Punto. Full stop. You okay, Tzvi? Yeah, you. Yeah. I am listening to every word you say while I am plugging my computer. The third lema of the masech of this part of the masech, the Gimel Amud Aleph. Lema Mesnisin, line starts with the word Mesnisin, about 8 or 10 lines from the top. Lema Mesnisin the local Rabbi Yossi. Let us say that our Mishnah does not follow the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. Why not? Which Rabbi Yossi? What Rabbi Yossi? What do you want from Rabbi Yossi? Dika Rabbi Yossi. If you follow Rabbi Yossi, and soon I'll tell you the case which we mentioned before. Ha'omar, Rabbi Yossi says later on in Daf, I think Lamates, Rabbi Yossi says like this: Imken ma hifsid Ramai. What did the Ramai gain? What did the liar gain? What did the liar lose? I want liars to lose. I want liars to always lose at all costs. I don't want people to lie. Ella, and therefore, therefore, everything should be set aside until Elionovi comes. What do I want from your life? What is this more talking about? It's actually a Mishnah later on in Daf, I think, Lamezain. Says the story is as follows, as I already mentioned before. There are two people called Reuben and Simeon. Reuben and Simeon, both of them are good friends of Mr. Levy. Mr. Levy is a very nice, trustworthy banker, shomer, keeper, guard, whatever you want to call him. He is a trustee. And Reuben, one of them, we don't know whom. One of them, either Reuben or Shimon, deposited in his hands $100 a month ago. And Shimon, I don't know actually who, one of them deposited $200 a month ago. And now each one can swear, actually, that's a question if they swear. Each one stands on his own 2 feet and says, it digs deeper and says, I'm the one who deposited the 200. Each one says, I deposited 200. So all in all, Levi in his pocket, in his box, in his kitty has $300. And for sure, 100 belongs to Reuven, 100 to Shimon. The third money, the second money, which you can also call the third money, is a good question. Who owns the third money is a good question. And over there, what do we say? What does the halacha say? Well, depends. Chachamim say like this. Chachamim say 100 give to Reuven, 100 give to Shimon, because we know for sure that they're the owners. What do you do with the third one? Leave it until Elionovi comes. I really hope Elionovi comes very quickly because I'm hungry and I want the Mashiach to come. And also the reason is because there's a liar over here. The third money, until the liar breaks, we're not going to split it into two. Why? Says Tosfos, you don't split in case of knowing that the for sure liar 100%. Yeah, you don't split. You don't split. Why should the Ramai get and the good guy lose? As opposed to Shosha Nogach, we don't know there's a Ramai. We really don't know what happened. Here we know that somebody lied. We know there's a liar here, stayed brazenly lying through his teeth, and therefore say Chachomim the third moneh, until we figure it out, you leave it, we confiscate it, put it in the corner. Kindalach, if you fight over the sweet, over the candy, I'll put it in the corner and finish it. Says Rabbi Yossi even more. Rabbi Yossi is being very, very, he penalizes very much. And he says, no, all 300, all 300, all three monim, all $300 have to be set aside and confiscated. Why? Because we want the Ramai to lose. We don't want people to attempt even to play such dirty tricks. And therefore we say all the money, we fully know it's a yes, it's a collective punishment. The entire class will have to run around school 50 times, even the good kid, even Shlomo the Malach, everyone will have to run around, until I figure out who's the one who threw an airplane, a paper plane, and the back of the teacher. Alevai, that would be the problem today, Okay, so then what? So then what do we say? The Seder, everyone has to suffer, says Rabbi Yossi, until the Ramai breaks, because otherwise, what did he lose? If he plays tricks and he's actually causing the other side to lose, and you say, okay, each one gets his own piece, each one gets his 100, and only the third money is set aside, the Ramai didn't lose anything, and people will attempt and try to do such maisalach, such tricks. That's what Rabbi Yossi says. Zok the Gemara, L'choira, according to Rabbi Yossi, our Mishnah is wrong. Why? Because in our Mishnah, why do you tell them to split half-half? At this point, we think there's definitely a Ramai. Why is there definitely a Ramai? Either Reuven picked up first or Shimon picked up first, right? In Mimela, somebody's lying. So according to Rabbi Yossi, the entire talis should be placed in Beis Din's coffers, in Beis Din's machsan, in the escrow account, until Leonovi comes, or until somebody breaks and admits, or until, I don't know, it looks like a Mishnah, does not follow Rabbi Yossi. Elamai Zog the Gemara, Rabbanon. When you say, it's not Rabbi Yossi, so who does our Mishnah follow? Rabbanon? No. Even Rabbanon do not fit nicely into our Mishnah either. Why? What did Rabbanon say? The rest, meaning how do you say bone of contention? The money that is the rest of the money that we don't know who owns, that disputable $100 which is there in the box stays at Shavalio. Honami, our talis here over here, Anami kishar dami. This fakeai, excuse me, by us, the entire talis is like that $100, that one money that's in his pocket. Because here they argue, and there's one liar on each and every fiber and each and every thread in the talis, right? So even according to Rabbanim, it doesn't work right. It's a very strong taina. Why are you taking to Rabbi Yossi? What about Chachamim? Chachamim just the same. Chachamim's over there. There's one point which they both dig deep and say it's mine, which is what? The third money. Well, here you have one enlarged third money. Here the entire talis is really, they argue in each and every spitzkale of the talis. And one liar is lying here and one truthful guy saying the truth, right? So Mimele doesn't work right with Rabbanan either. And if our Mishnah doesn't work right neither with Rabbanan nor with Rabbi Yossi, must be you have something wrong here. Because the Mishnah has to be someone, so must be something in your comparison between the cases is wrong to begin with. So don't take Rabbi Yossi. It's you who don't understand exactly how to compare the cases. Answers the Gemara, calm down. Hi, Mai. What does one have to do the other? Hi, Mai. Well, what's going on over here? Hi, Mai. Well, what's flying here? If you say that the authors of our Mishnah are Rabbanon, then I'm very happy. I'm very good. Why? Awesome. Over there, we can clearly differentiate the Vadai Hai Mone, the Chad Minayu, right? Over there, that Mone for sure belongs to someone. It for sure belongs to either Reuven or Shimon. It does not belong to Leonovi. It belongs to someone here, and we don't know who it is. There's definitely full ownership over that third money, either Reuven or Shimon. Amir Abanon, listen, guys, we don't know who it belongs to. There's no reason to give it to somebody who's not the owner. By the way, Rabbanan are not punishing anybody. Chachamim say, you know what? We don't know what to do. No reason to split over there. Why split? I'm not giving matanas to the Ramai. Maybe I'm not as a strict teacher like Rabbi Yossi, but there's no reason to give gifts to Ramai. We don't know who is the full, sole, exclusive, only owner of the third money. There's no way for me to know. Why should I, Beis Din, give gifts to anybody that doesn't, that's not the owner? Leave it until Eleono becomes, and hope that it comes quickly, or the Ramai will break and the real guy would get it, or will get Eidim, or something will happen. We'll get more bank statements or a shtaris, whatever. Over here, it's not the same. As the Gemara already told you before in Beis Amud Beis, remember the Ika Lemema de Tavayuhu. Here there's a third option. Maybe really the talis belongs to both. Why? How could that be? Maybe they picked it up together without even realizing. That's the answer. Over here, there are three options. Either it's all Reuven, or it's all Shimon's, or it's half-half. There is even a 10-20% chance that it's half-half, meaning they picked it up together without even knowing. Each one, engrossed in his own life, he picked that corner without the other one realizing, and he in the other corner without the one realizing, and each one says it's mine, but maybe really the talis belongs to both of them. There's no for sure ownership over the entire thing. So our solution could be right. The half-half could really be true. It's not necessarily something done out of no choice. Maybe it is the right choice. So Mimela both have tfisa, both were nishba, and both could really be the owners of half-half. So do half-half, all very nice. Mimela, according to Chachamim, works very nicely to say that you split over here. Over there, you can't say maybe they deposited together. No, they didn't. Even in today's world, they're both holding the smartphone or the computer together and the pressed deposit in the account. No, not child. Maybe today child. Either he put the 100, he put the other. No such thing. Ela yomat Rabbi Yossi. But if you say Rabbi Yossi, na, repeats the Gemara, now with much more strength. Rabbi Yossi is the one that would never make sense according to our Mishnah. Why? Ashta, now, umahosom, over there, now you have to understand. Now, it's a very fine line over here explained by the Rishonim, but the Rashba explains. The Gemara at this point knows maybe it belongs to both. Rabbi Yossi doesn't care about ownership. Rabbi Yossi cares about punishing the Ramai. Rabbi Yossi cares about punishing the Ramai. Now, let me introduce to you a small introduction to avoid questions. The Rishonim ask it. Rabbi Yossi at this point knows that maybe they picked it up together. That could be they picked it together. But Rabbi Yossi at this point thinks that if they picked it up together and Reuven says it's all mine, he's still a liar, right? Either they picked it together or it's all Reuven or it's all Shimon. So for sure there's a liar, right? In other words, even if they happen to pick it up together, so I saw that the other guy picked it together with me and it still come to Beis and say it's all mine, right? So if you both say all mine, there's a liar. Maybe there's a third option. Maybe they picked it together. Yes, thank you. If they picked it up together and both Reuven and Shimon still say it's all mine, and they don't say the option, let me be honest with you, Beis Din, maybe we picked it together. We think about it, but they didn't. They don't say, Beis Din, I want to be super honest. I'm a Erlich Yid, I'm a Yosher guy. No, why didn't you say to Beis Din? So Rabbi Yossi is not looking at the Chefza, looking at the Gavra. When there's a liar, he wants to punish him all the way collectively with the other guy. If so, Rabbi Yossi is really stuck against our Mishnah. Why? Says the Gemara, over there, for sure, there is one money for each side, and that money for sure belongs to them. Which means, over there, Rabbi Yossi said, listen, both sides are going to lose. The Ramai will lose the money that's for sure his. And the honest guy will also lose what's his. Rabbi Yossi is punishing collectively all sides and all the money. It could be 3 million. All stays there. I'll punish until I'll figure out and squeeze out the Ramai. Even though he knows that people lose the right money, he says, I don't care, says Rabbi Yossi. We're going to fight Ramos in Yiddishkeit. Over here, the Ikal member, the Chad Minayahu, Lokol Shekain. Over here, when we know for sure that over there is one guy, that is losing over there, but there's one guy that's right? Over there's one guy who's an honest, good guy, and he's losing because they put it on the side. Over here, the ikal remember the chad minayu. Over here, we know it probably belongs to one guy, but probably does not belong to one guy, which means could be over here, the only one losing will be who? Will be the Ramai, right? Because over here, chad minayu, there's one guy losing for sure, and one guy who's the owner for sure, but there's one guy who's definitely lying all the way. There's one guy who lies about each and every fiber. Of course, I'm going to punish more and put it in the corner. Let me repeat. Over there, we say like this. Over there, we say that we punish the tzaddik with the Rosha. And even to that extent, says Rabbi, yeah, I know. I know that little Shloimel is a tzaddik, would never fly an airplane paper in the back of the teacher. I'm sorry. Until this scandal of plain papers stops in the classroom, I'm sorry for the example. I'm talking about Tanoim over here, Lahavdil. The entire class will have to run around school 100 times and write, I will not do it again 100 times. Even though the tzaddik is being punished, you put it on the side, that's it. But all kol shekin over here, when I take it and put it on the side, nobody gets it. There's definitely one side that the real Ramai, who lies all the way through and has zero partnership in it, right? Why? Because he is lying for sure, and he has zero ownership in any of those fibers, any of the threads here. Or the more so I'm going to punish, because I know that at least with one side, I'm punishing a Rosha all the way. Over there, the Rosha was half punished, but half punished unjustifiably. Let's look at the Rosha. Rabbi Yossi says, you Rosha, the entire 200 you're going to lose. The entire 200, the 100 you're lying about, and even the 100 that are yours, you're going to lose. All kol shekin over here, we tell the Ramai, we're so scared of Ramoim, we say, here, sure, here the Ramai, in case Shimon is the only one that holds it, and Reuven did not hold it b'chlal, he came later. If you look at the camera in Mitzad, that the Reuven is the second one and has no ownership, of course you should lose everything because he's lying about everything. Yeah, kol shekin, you should lose everything. If over there he's losing something that he shouldn't have, or the Morsa here should lose something that he definitely lied about. That's the question about Rabbi Yossi, as explained in the Rishonim. And says the Gemara, no, Afilotema Rabbi Yossi, no. Now we come to what we said before. Awesome vada ikaramai. Over there, for sure, there's a ramai. For sure, there's a ramai. No way the two people together put the 200. We know, Levi knows there was one hafkodo, one deposit at a certain time. I don't remember who says Levi, of 200, and another one of 100. No way they were together. Somebody is lying. One person for sure lying. We go artillery. We go crazy. Everyone's going to lose until the Ram is found out. And Munachet Shavalio, over here, how do you know there's a Ramai? Calm down, please. How do you know there's a Ramai? Who says that there is a Ramai? Maybe over there, both together picked it up, and most important, maybe they innocently spoke. Maybe they picked it up together. I already told you before. And maybe here they picked it up together, and one really innocently thought he was the only one. So there's no for sure Ramai. When Reuven says it's all mine, he speaks innocently. There's a long talis, let's say a long scarf, yeah, and he picked it up, concentrated on picking up, doing agbe with all the humorous vehidurim. He found it in the street, yeah. He thought really, I'm the one who picked it up. He didn't see that the other one's also picking it up 2 meters away. He didn't know. So we don't know that there's a Ramai. We always knew already from yesterday, we knew that really maybe both sides held it together. Now we're adding the factor that maybe they didn't even realize that they're lying. They innocently said it's all mine. They just didn't see that the other one at the very same second picked it up together with them. They thought, oh, where did you hail from? Where did you hail from? Yeah, Mimela, in this case, there's no for sure Ramai. There's a small chance that this innocently talk and they really both are the owners. In that case, even Rabbi Yossi would agree that they split it b'shvua, and we don't say that Yemunachat Shavalio, because we don't know for sure that b'chlal something wrong happened here. We don't know it was a paper plane. Maybe it really fell from Shemaim, the paper plane. We don't know the reality. Excuse me? Over here, we don't, over there. Over here, we don't know that there's a Ramai. Why? Maybe they picked it up together, not realizing they're together. He was engrossed in his own thing. He was involved in his own life. He was submerged in his own thing. Over there, there's for sure a liar. But there's for sure liar. Everyone's losing. Boom, boom, boom. Rabbi Yossi goes all the way. Inami. Alternative. But remember this first answer. That's the first answer to differentiate and distinguish between our Mishnah and the case of the third money, the third coin. Inami. Alternatively, another answer. Hasam. Konisle Rabbi Yossi l'ramai. Tiechi deloidi. What does Rabbi Yossi do? What we call in Hebrew emtzai lachatz. He's creating means of pressure. He wants him to lose, so he should loidi, so he should admit, because that money that was deposited by who? By Mr. Ramai, the $200,000, make it big, to 2 million, were really his. And we tell him, listen, mister, you're not getting the candy you really own. The 1 million you really own, you're not getting. Yeah, I know you invested. Yeah, I know it's your lifetime insurance. I know it's your very hard-earned money, and you're going to lose it until you admit. That is the case over there. Until he admits he's going to lose and he's going to hurt him in the pocket. Awesome. Once again, over here, my pseda isla deloidi. Over here, what is he going to lose? He found it, right? In case of Metzia, he found it in the street. He paid zero. It was just a cute kind of attempt to steal. In what way? He saw Reuven finding a beautiful silk scarf in the middle of where, in the middle of Kyoto. And he picked up the scarf, and then he says, I also want to have a try, and I'll pick up the scarf also and see what the religious Beis Din will do. I remember Cheder from Kitavov. I remember half, and I'll get half of the beautiful silk scarf. Did he lose anything? Mapitom. It's not a loss. He found it. He found it easily. Easy come, easy go. He didn't invest in it. He didn't pay for it, right? And Mimela, you're not losing anything. Mimela over here, there's no reason for Rabbi Yossi to leave it in the corner. Because anyway, the Rama will never in his life admit, I should make myself bad in the entire Japan. Nobody's going to believe me anymore. Mapitom, I'm never going to come clean because I didn't lose anything. Over there, the money really owned, half the money is really owned by the Ramai until you don't admit, you're never going to get the real money back. Over here, who cares? I tried my luck with this funny Metzia, funny monkey business. The religious Beis Din said, we'll stay in the corner. Okay. Back to my next theft, my next attempt to do joyride, shpiot. Why not? Yeah, he's not losing anything. Nimela over here, there's no need for means of pressure. Nimela, they say shvua. Shvua is for sure something, and then split it. That's a nice teretz, but it's not. Because don't forget, our Mishnah has two cases. Metzia and what's the second case? Mr. Levy is a nice shop owner, or he sells his own stuff from home. And Reuben and Shimon argue about what? About who bought from Levi with three things: kesef, money, and guilt. Yeah, they're arguing about something that is worth money. In that case, your second answer is not going to hold water. Preg the Gemara, no. Bishlema, 1 second, I lost the place. Yeah, Teinach Metzia. Teinach, what you answered just now is perfect for Metzia. To say really that really is not losing anything is very good when it comes to Metzia. What's Metzia? Nobody lost anything. Why should it's not pressurizing him at all to admit. But Mekach Umemta, in the case that both of them invested money in the story, they invested money, good money. That silk scarf they both claim, and they're right in that. Levi says, I know each one paid me $3,000 for the silk scarf. Yeah, Michael Meimer, what would you say? Because then Shimon is losing the 3,000. Tracks me. I ask a question now. North Korea. We moved from Japan to North Korea. I'm asking a question now. We said he's going to get the money back, right, Alan? Yeah. After coming from Beis Din, the owner, the seller of the scarf, will compensate them, remunerate them with the money. With what of the half the 3,000? Says Rashi, no, we'll confiscate everything, according to Rabbi Yossi. Over here, according to Rabbi Yossi, we'll say the scarf goes to the corner, children, and also the entire 3,000 or 6,000, all the money in Levi's pocket, or the extra money that has to be returned to someone, will also go to Beis Din's pocket from Levi. Levi's not losing. The extra Levi has will go, so they're not going to get the silk, and no money back guarantee either. So it hurts him in the pocket here also. Therefore, you can't say that here there's no means for pressure. Why? Because here, yes, here he invested money. He's losing money, the Ramai, the liar. And if we put it in the corner, yes, it would help to say Munachat Shavalio. So why don't you employ it? That's far. Why don't you apply it here? Ela machvata. Machvata, it's clear. Chiver. it's clear and nice and clear and good. Kedishonin meikara, full stop. We have to delete the second answer and only use shonin what we answered originally. What was the first answer? The first answer was regarding is there a ramai or isn't there a ramai. In the case over there of the third money, the third coin, for sure, what happens with the third coin? The third coin is, for sure, there is a liar. Over there, everyone loses everything. Over here, there's no for sure liar. Don't get so excited. Maybe they picked it up together, and maybe they didn't realize it. So when he vehemently says it's only man on the line, he's being stupid maybe. Alamais is not for sure lying. Maybe he's mistaken. Mistaken, we're down the kaf's chus, and then we say, be nishba, which for sure would deter many people who may be mistaken, and then split it into two, and it would work very nicely, both according to Rabbanan and even according to Rabbi Yossi. I just want to, okay, I don't have time to add more. If we have time, in 10 minutes time when we finish, there are some iyun points that I want to add, but that's for now the answer. So now let's review Machlokas Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanan, because we're now going to talk about another aspect of this Machlokas. Again, there is money here in the hands of Levi the banker. Levi the banker at your service since 1921. Yeah, what does Levi the banker have? He has 3 gold coins, $3 million. He has 3 things. What? 1 Reuven, 2 of Shimon, or maybe the other way. We don't know. 1 coin belongs to Reuven, 1 belongs to Shimon. The third money is the dispute. The money that's in dispute, everyone agrees, freeze right there. Don't give it to anybody until we find out, until they bring Edim, until Elionovi comes. Says Rabbi Yossi, no. I want to extend that 1 coin into all the coins, into all 3 golden coins, into all 3 million. Nobody will get anything. I'll collectively punish everybody until the Ramai comes clean and admits that it's him. Now the Gemara is, because we spoke about the Machloekes, we're going to go in a little bit, tiny bit of a tangent and speak about another case which we also spoke about before, and see how that case works with Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi. Says the Gemara, frag the Gemara. In this case, before we continue, I'll remind you of the case. Remember the case? There's a guy called Baal Abais. Let's just call him Baal Abais, okay? Let's give some, time out to poor Reuven. Time out. The Baal Abais is called Baal Abais. And he asked, what? BB, Baal Abais, BB. I know, no propaganda here for any political party. So now the Baal Abais, what did he do? He asked some nice boys, he wants to employ them. Please paint my house, and I'll pay each one of you boys, 100 shekels, 200 shekels, a little bit. Yeah, and then at the end of the day, he says, guys, I know I owe you the money. Go to the nice rest of the pizza shop, go to the sushi bar, whatever. Go to the chenvani, to the one who sells food, and he'll give you money. Yeah, not money. He'll give you food worth the salary I owe you. I'm putting, I'm in charge. I'm in charge with you guys, Reuven, Shimon, Yossi, and Shlomi. All of you will get the pizza, and that will be your salary. Obviously, he gives a call or a WhatsApp or an email to the pizza parlor. That's what it's called, pizza store, whatever, the ice cream parlor, the store, the makolet, and he tells the Baal Makoles, the store, these boys are going to come to your shop in 10 minutes. Please, spoil them nicely. Give them 500 shekels worth of pizza, whatever. And of course, I'm mechuyev to you. Listen to my words. I'm committed to you, Mr. Pizza owner, to obviously, to pay. In a day's time, you'll see it in your bank account, 500 shekels. And that's all very nice. Who created that triangle? The Baal Abais. Baal Abais is committed now to Mr. It's important to listen to this understanding from the start. He's committed to the little misters, to the boys. He owes the money, and they will get it through the pizza. And he's also committed separately to Mr. Pizza owner, who's now going to give them, 10 very nice, hot, fresh pizza, trays of pizza, and 500 will for sure be in your account tomorrow. So nice. Oh, could have ended so nicely. And the last thing is them eating and then also doing tshuva. The problem was that all of a sudden he gets angry phone calls and emails and everything from both sides. The boys said that they did not get the pizza. And the pizza guy said, I don't know who you are. And the pizza guy says, I gave them the pizza. These guys are lying. I gave them the pizza. You owe. And both sides say to Mr. BB, Baal Abais, they say, you owe us money. They want the 500 that they're owed because they painted the house. The pizza guy says, give me 500 because I gave them, 10 magashim of pizzas that are worth 500. And Tadat Balabais, what does Balabais have to do? We saw there's a machloekes bananas and chachomim whether they have to take shvua, but everyone agrees that both parties, what do? There's for sure a liar. Let's say there's only one person. It's not even 2 against 1. I don't think it makes a difference for halacha. Let's say there does make a difference. The poilim versus one guy, somebody's lying. They say for sure, he shows for sure I gave them the pizza 7 o'clock in the evening. They said we never got it. Somebody's lying here. Somebody's trying to make an extra 500, and yet we don't apply or employ the svara of Rabbanon or Rabbi Yosi. What's the halacha? Ma halacha? What does halacha say? Mr. Balabais. You have to give after the nishba, according to some. You have to give 500 shekels to Reuven and Shimon and Levi, the boys, and also 500 shekels to the pizza store owner. Correct the Gemara. Why is that? Poor man. Why do we double? Yeah, he's only almost 500. All of a sudden, he's paying an extra 500. Poor boy, poor man, Balabais. Correct the Gemara. Ben Rabbanon, Ben Rabbi Yosi, both Rabbanon and Rabbi Yosi, Hossam over there, Gabi Chenveni al Pinkosoi, the Chenveni and his ledger. The Chenveni, the pizza store owner, the Makolit owner, who has a ledger and he swears, the Ktani, it says, Zen Nishba Benoitel, the workers have to swear to who? To the Balabais, and they take the 500 B'Shvua, the Zen Nishba Benoitel, and the Chenveni, also the pizza guy owner, the Chenveni, also swears to him, and he takes the 500. What's going on over here? Mishnah, what's the difference? What's the difference? Excuse me, poor men. Why nafke? Why are we getting money, mamoino, out of Balabais' pocket and the Chayra? We should say like this: get 500 out of the Bailim. Why? The Bailim owes 500 for sure. I suggest if we follow Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanon, both of them, because they're really similar. When the money here is all like the third money, right? And therefore, get the money out of the pocket of Balabais. He should not gain because they're fighting. And you know what you do with that 500 shekels? One and only 500? Put it in days in coffers, in an escrow account, in a corner, in chayrim, confiscation, and leave it until Elijah the prophet comes to herald Messiah. Leave it until further notice, and because there's a liar, just like over here. Don't tell me stories. Over there for sure, there's a liar. If for sure there's a liar, that's what you should have done. Must be both Rabban and Rabbi Yosi are not in line with that Mishnah over there, right? The Mishnah over there should have suggested, leave the money. Nobody should get the money. You're both liars. And therefore, and for sure liars, even if you're Rabbanon, and you're lying over the 500 shekels worth of pizza and the painting of the house, leave it aside. Why don't we say that? And says the Gemara, brilliant teretz, like all the truths of the Gemara says, no. There's a huge difference. Amri, they say like this. Awesome over there. Hainu Taima, as I hinted to you the answer already by the question. I planted the roots of the hint already before, the seeds. You basically want them over there to lose, right? Because you're saying there's a liar, you want both sides to lose and punish them collectively. No. Let's open the microphone, open the mic, and let the Chenveni talk alone. Just to make it clearer and make it more balabatish clear in your mind, let's assume, just in order to make it clear, there are 2 court cases, on Sunday and on Monday. Why? On Sunday, the boys that painted, they come and they demand the money, and they swear, and they take the money. On Monday, the pizza store owner swears and takes another 500 from the pocket of Balabais. Let's say you have 2, because really it's 2 court cases here against him, says the Gemara. Monday, Chenveni comes to Beis Din and tells the Balabais, I was your shliach. I acted upon your behalf. You are the one who told me to give them 500 shekels worth pizzas. And therefore, the only person which I know in this Bermuda Triangle is you. You owe me 500 now. My isligabi sochir. I have nothing to do with the boys who were here yesterday and they swore and they took the 500. It has nothing to do with me. Afal gavdeka mishtabali. You're saying, "Oi, the boys were here yesterday and they swore and they b'shvua and they for sure don't lie b'shvua. Lo meiman li b'shvua. Says Mr. Pizza owner Chenvani, they're not believed by me. Atemante, you created ne'emanus, you created credibility when you said to them to take the money. Deloy omatli besahadi havlei. You did not say give it to them be'edim. Let me now explain the whole thing, because now we're going to repeat it. The story is as follows. The pizza store owner says, listen, my friend, I'm only talking to you, you and only you. You are the one who owes me money. I have nothing to do with them. As opposed to the case of Reuben and Shimon who lied to each other about what? Who deposited the 100? They fist fight over there. No, here the triangle is broken. There's the boys, the Poalim against Balabais, and the Chenvani against Balabais. Says the Chenvani, I know that the boys were yesterday in court and they swore. As far as I'm concerned, they're Rishoim. Says Rashi, very big yesod, says Rashi. Yeah, I recommend you look at it afterwards yourselves because we don't have time. Says Rashi like this. A person is only ne'eman b'shvua if I have relationship with him of credibility, of trust. If I lent you money, borrowed money, did something, gave you, sold you, bought, I'm in the business with you, you made the shvua, I have to believe you. It's very big yesod of Rashi. I put you on my chessboard, I believe you, I have to trust your shvua. These boys have nothing to do with me. These boys came to my store, came a phone call from you. As far as I'm concerned, I could have given that 500 shekels, pizza to monkeys, to dogs, to the queen of, I don't know where, Chichapuchi, happens to be the boys. I have nothing personal to do with them. I never created trust with them. It was your stupidity also, excuse the word, that you told us both to do that transaction of me giving them the pizza and them receiving the seller without Adim. When you did it without Adim, you created the second best option of Adim. What's the second best option after Adim? Shvua. You said, let's believe each other with the Shvua? Okay. You can believe their Shvua when they were nishba yesterday that they're so trustworthy and they swore with tears in the eyes in front of the Sefer Torah. It's your problem. You owe me money directly. I got a phone call from you. I put those 5 hot pizzas in the store for you. And Mimeli, you owe me directly. And the boys, says the Gemara, Gaboch ma isli. Yeah. And now, the Sochir Nami. The Sochir, the boys who did the work, say the same thing. The same rhetorics, the same song they sing. I worked for you and I painted all day long like Meshuggah and I worked hard and I'm owed 500. I have nothing to do with the Chenvani. Don't basically confront us with each other. Even if he makes a shvua to me, he's not believed. Each side separately would take a shvua and take from Balabais. Says Rashi, because so Tachlis, why don't we say it should stay in the corner? Because staying in the corner is the punishment. Who has to be punished? Not them. Even if somebody's lying. Because why should I be punished? Says who? We have to have keyhole vision. We only look at the boys. The only person to deal with is Balabais. You created a mess. You told both of us to deal with each other without the security of Adim and only Shvua. You believe the Shvua. You believe the other side Shvua. I know I'm right. And therefore, says Rashi, I should not lose by having it in the corner in the escrow account and never see the money again in my life after I worked hard or after I worked hard in the pizza or in the painting. I don't have to lose because of the mess up you created, Mr. Balabais. Mimela, there's no option there of Yemun Chachavalyo. Mashenkin, Reuben, and Shimon, they're the liars. Levi was a nice passive guy. All he has is a bank account for both, a lawyer, or maybe he has a nice box where they all put the money, and that's it. They're the ones who created the mess. The lie started with them and finished with them. It was created by them. Reuben and Shimon, somebody there is the Kochelefel who created the whole matzav. You have a Kochelefel, airplane papers mean the whole class together has to be punished. Says Rabbi Yosef, even Rabbanon, they say when all the money is at stake, the shaken over here, no. It's only Balabas who created the mess and he'll be punished. He'll have to pay extra 500. What he should have done is tell them to do it be'edim, because he's creating a credibility between two people who don't believe each other. So he made the mess. He should come and pay extra and then go to the shop and eat some more pizza. Although that's not so healthy. But not today, not today. Today's Yudan B'Tamuz, Yudches Tamuz. Tomorrow you can have pizza and the Metzia Hashem Mashiach will come. Thank you very much. There's more even points which I hope to get to maybe tomorrow because today we don't have time anymore. Thank you very much. Atzlocha Rabba and an easy, meaningful fast.